Virus is a very minute creation of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. There are two common words we hear. One is bacteria and one is virus. Bacteria are bigger in size as compared to virus. Virus is too small to be seen from even a microscope. Like a normal microscope, you cannot see that. In order to see this, there is a special kind of microscope, which is known as electron microscope. That means the virus is too small. Actually, electron microscopes have a higher resolving power than light microscopes and can reveal the structure of smaller objects. You mean comparatively? In simple words, electron microscope is very powerful as compared to normal microscope. So this is one point. And the second point is that for a virus, it has not been established whether it is a living object or a non-living object, because it possesses certain properties which classify it in living objects, whereas there are certain properties which classify it being in non-living objects. Another problem comes when you try to kill it, it is hard to establish whether it has been killed or not, because it happens after some time it activates again, as if it was not dead. So this is the nature of virus. But subhanallah, it is a creation of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and very minute in its structure, very small. Look at the power of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. From a very minute creature, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala demonstrated His power to the whole world. And in result, one has to believe that there is someone who is running the show of this world, and that is Allah Azza wa Jal. Where is the power of Allah? Wallahu bi kulli shay'in muheet. And Allah has control over all things. Each and everything is in His control through His knowledge and His power. رَبَّنَا وَسِعْتَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَحْمَةً وَعِلْمًا. O our Lord, everything is encompassed by Your mercy and knowledge. So in fact, this virus is also a sign of power of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, which has humbled many arrogant heads of this world. Actually, I read a story. I don't know whether it is authentic or not, but I read in a book. A king was sitting in his court, surrounded by his ministers. A housefly was disturbing him again and again. You know, when a fly comes to disturb you, it really irritates you, doesn't it? Fly would come and sit on his nose. He would remove that. It would come back again and again. Well, back in those days, maybe these sprays were not there that you would kill that. So the king became furious and said to his minister, "Why did Allah create this fly? What's the purpose of this fly?" So the minister was wise. He said, "Your Highness, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has created this small creature in order to shatter the pride of arrogant people, that many powerful kings cannot remove this fly away from them. So we should remember, if Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala wants, then He can destroy the peace and comfort through just one fly." Likewise, it is famous about Nimrud. It is not authentic, but it's quite famous, that his death was caused by a mosquito. A mosquito entered in his brain through nose, and after that, it started teasing and causing him severe pain in his brain. He would feel ease when he was hit by shoes on his head. He would not die. Finally, he had an horrific end. It is also possible that it was not a mosquito, rather a virus. Although in books mosquito is mentioned, but back in those days, technology was not that advanced. People weren't aware of viruses as they are now. Hence, doctors of that day and age could have said that something is gone in his brain which is teasing and causing him severe pain. So people could see the smallest creature as mosquito. They could have thought about that. Maybe that's why it got famous. But there is a possibility that was virus. Maybe that was virus which could have caused inflammation in his brain and caused severe pain to him. So I guess we cannot rule out this possibility. While we are not sure whether it happened to Nimrud or not, but it is happening right now. And nowadays this concept is very easy to understand, that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala can destroy this whole world through His very small army. An army which cannot be seen from a naked eye. Can kill the whole population of this world and completely destroy it. From a very minute creation, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in Quran as وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودَ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُوَ, meaning, and no one knows the armies of your Lord except Him. Yes, no one knows the armies of your Lord except Him. No one knew this virus before, and that it is such harmful, and that Corona is also a deadly virus that also exists and dangerous to the extent that can take people's life. But it is also an army of Allah. And no one knows army of Allah except Him. In other words, if Allah wills, then this small army of Allah can shatter the pride of powerful nations.
We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel. We love Madani Channel.